Very good evening to all of you. Guidance and Counseling Unit welcomes you all to today's lecture by Professor L.S. Ganesh titled Learning to Push Your Limits. Had it not been a function where the audience is mainly freshers, there would have been no need to introduce Professor L.S. Ganesh. But still, very briefly, Professor LSG is an alumnus from our institute and he is presently the head of the Department of Management Studies Department. He'll be talking to us on this topic, learning to push your limits. A very hearty welcome to you, sir.
Anyway, let me thank the Guidance and Counseling Unit, David, an old friend. We were all contemporaries. I see a few familiar faces here, and that sort of gives me a feeling of dread, in the sense that, what do you think you guys are going to learn anew? You've already been listening to me for so long. Hopefully I'll send this, whatever I'm going to share, to those of you who might not have had the opportunity to share with me some ideas that we will discuss today. In a sense, I think you fellows are masochists, Okay. What do you mean by pushing the limits, and why should we talk about pushing the limits? This notion actually came to me when I visited Mussoorie in 1999, I was right. There's a Defense Research and Development Organization lab in Mussoorie, near Dehradun. Those of you from the north know that Mussoorie is one of the beautiful hill stations. Okay? Except that this place, the lab is located in a place called Landauer Cantonment. It's a cantonment area, which is higher than Mussoorie. And you get a beautiful view of the Himalayas from there. And in fact, that's the place where Ruskin Bond lives. Okay? Those of you who have read Ruskin Bond books would immediately know. One of the fine authors who writes for children. And in fact, I had the opportunity to meet Ruskin Bond there. It's a small house, beautiful location overlooking the valley, and I had a very nice time there. But more than nice time, I'd been there with my family. When I went over the lab, I just chanced across a notice board, in which there were obviously some cobwebs, and apparently that was a notice board that was not much in use. And there was this silver ant eaten a small piece of paper there. By sheer fate, I think I said, okay, let me read what's in it. And I think that moment was a moment of truth for me. I could have missed it. I'm just trying to bring this point for you to recognize the importance of destiny and fate. Sometimes you take a decision which can alter the entire track of your life. It can put you on a track which takes you far away from what you perhaps would have been otherwise. Perhaps even what you would have wished to be otherwise. Okay. What was this piece of paper which was a little eaten up with silver ants? It was a quote of Article 51A of the Constitution of India. This is something I've shared with some of my friends who are here. I think they can quickly understand what I'm going to talk about. Article 51A of the Constitution of India deals with fundamental duties of citizens of India. Okay. I hope we all recognize ourselves as citizens of India. Okay. As one of my friends said, good or bad, it's a genetic accident you are here. Okay. Once you are here, at least let's see what best you can do. This article, I have brought it with me. I'm just going to read an extract. This is proof enough for you that even teachers need bit notes. I've generally believed more in open notes open anything examination than close notes. Okay? Because in real life, you will have access to a lot of reference materials. The challenge in real life is how do you marshal those resources and use them in a situation that demands application of your knowledge, your own creative thinking, and so on. I think that's a better way to test students. In fact, give questions where you will even have to identify what material to marshal. Which is what happens in real life, trust me. That's the damn challenge for most of us in real life. Nobody's going to tell you that this is the material you have to collect. Nobody's going to give you notes in real life. You'll have to even identify. So we'll come to this later. What does this say? Constitution of India, Article 51A, fundamental duties. A, to abide by the Constitution. Constitution, respect its ideals and national flag and the national anthem. B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. I read all of them. J was the moment of truth. To strive towards excellence in all spheres of individual and collective activity so that the nation constantly rises to higher levels of endeavor and achievement. I said, Ganesh, read that again. To strive towards excellence. It doesn't say to be excellent. Watch out. Huh? These people, great people who wrote the Constitution, I think if you read between the lines, you can see the tender care they took for this document. It's something you can feel. There was tremendous love when they wrote this whole thing. Love for what they were doing. Okay. To strive towards excellence, which means they are clearly talking of a struggle. Okay. A legitimate, noble struggle. Okay. To strive towards excellence in all spheres of individual and collective activity. Why? So that the nation constantly rises to higher levels of endeavor and achievement. That put a switch on in my head. I said, what a dumb guy I was. I'm a citizen of India, and first thing is I don't even know my fundamental rights. Okay, leave alone fundamental duties. But here was this thing, it said fundamental duties. And I've been taught from my childhood about the concept of duty. There is a beautiful word which I shared today in a morning lecture with some of my MBA students, the concept of dharma. Dharma as duty. Dharma has several connotations. Some of you know this connotation, isn't it? Dharma has, giving alms. Simplest dharmam podunga. In Tamil they say, isn't it? Dharma as virtue, righteousness, etc. And dharma as duty. Are you performing your dharma? The Gita is full of that, isn't it? What is your dharma as a Kshatriya? Is the challenge that is posed to the archer.